Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Anton Zakor, and this is the Anton Analysis. And today we're going to be checking out Linkin Park's, not their brand new song. This has been out for about 4 months, but I have not listened to any of the new Linkin Park stuff yet. I've been saving it for reactions, but for anyone that doesn't know, I think literally everybody in the world knows Linkin Park. But they were like the biggest band in the 2000s. In the End, Numb. Legitimately, some of their songs have 1.4 billion views. Linkin Park, I think even if people don't even listen to rock and metal, like everyone knows this band. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows their lead singer, Chester Bennington, who was beloved. He was beloved by pretty much everyone that knew him. He just had one of the most tender hearts you could ever imagine. He was such an exceptionally loving, kind, vulnerable, sensitive, authentic human being. So open. Like such a gift to the world. And he committed suicide in 2017. And it really just took the world by storm. Really sad time. And Linkin Park has not made any music since. And then earlier this last year, or late last year in 2024, they randomly dropped this song, The Emptiness Machine, with their new singer, who I don't know the name, but when we're breaking down the lyrics, I'll jump into that. But they got a female vocalist actually to fill in Chester's shoes. And a lot of people say she's very good. And a lot of people have asked me my perspective on the material with her. And now, for the first time, I'm able to say, I'm going to check it out. So, with that being said, also, I do want to mention how this video is going to go is I'm going to break down the music first, and then we're going to do a lyrical and thematic breakdown afterwards. So definitely stay tuned to the second half of the video when we do that. But that's it. So let's get into Linkin Park, The Emptiness Machine.
Your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view.
I forgot that Mike sings.
I know you're waiting in the distance, just like you always do, just like you always do. Already pulling me in, already under my skin, and I know exactly.
I like this right now. You can feel it building.
You cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. The emptiness machine.
That's very Linkin Park.
Going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we lose. 'Cause there's a fire under the altar. I keep on lying to. I keep on lying to. Already pulling me in. Already under my skin.
This is really catchy, this part.
Exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed.
She has a lot of Chester vibes.
For who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
All right, so I just want to catch up on a couple thoughts, and we'll go back before the chorus. So, yeah, they really found a good counterpart for Chester, because it is not easy to replicate Chester's the distorted nature of his singing voice, and like a lot of scream singers or growl singers, it's quite common to blend singing and growling, like, you know, Sam Carter Architects, and God, it's so widespread. So many artists are doing it now. Where yeah, they're blending these registers. Where I find Chester did it in a very unique way. Maybe it was because he was more like a tenor. Like his actual vocal range was very high, right? Like they always used to say, like he could scream like a demon and sing like an angel. And because of that, he had a very unique way he would add distortion to his singing voice, where it was like a singer adding distortion rather than the usual like way that we're seeing it with the metalcore community, where you're getting these screamers who are kind of learning how to sing and they're starting to add singing to their growl. So he kind of did it in reverse. And because of that tenor voice, it just created a very unique sound, where it's interesting that they replaced Chester with a woman, right? A higher voice, a more of a tenor register, which, you know, it didn't occur to me how perfect that would work until right now when I go, oh yeah, like it's actually a no-brainer to replace Chester with a female, because that actually was, yeah, he had just such a high voice, right? And then even her vibe, the way that she's singing in the chorus here and the pre-chorus, it's she's just, you know, she's her own person, but she's really like, there are some really strong similarities with her tone and Chester's. And I'm also curious, because this happens a lot, when a band loses their singer and they get a new one, a lot of the time the new singer that steps in tries to emulate the old singer's sound for that record, and then usually they go their separate ways as the band evolves with the new singer, and they create their own sound. So I'm curious if they maintain this sound moving forward. But yeah, this is very interesting so far, but let's get back into it.
It's been decided how we lose, 'cause there's a fire under the altar. I keep on lying to, already pulling me in.
Yeah, I love this part.
Under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part of.
I only wanted to be part of something.
Ooh, that's cool.
I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the song so far.
let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping.
Classic Linkin Park imagery.
Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. The emptiness machine. The emptiness machine.
Ooh, I like the harmonies.
The emptiness machine.
All right, so that was Linkin Park, The Emptiness Machine. So it is interesting listening to Linkin Park without Chester, man. You know, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, Chester wasn't just a phenomenal vocalist, and he was truly phenomenal. But like it was who Chester was, you know, it was his heart. Like you listen to Numb, you listen to Leave Out All the Rest, you listen to Iridescent, you listen to Burning in the Skies, like those are my favorite Linkin Park songs. My like New Divide, Castle of Glass, Lost in the Echo. Like when I listen to those songs, like Chester, I really felt Chester's heart. I felt his love. Especially Iridescent. Like if you're going through a hard time and you're feeling like you're unlovable, there's just like no one for you in the world, or you're having just a hard time with the cruelty and the coldness of the world, like listen to Iridescent by Linkin Park. And that song is like a warm embrace. That is like another human being hugging you and telling you they love you. Like that song, out of anything, for me, exemplified Chester's heart. And leave out all the rest. That song exemplifies Chester's vulnerability and his desire to be remembered for the best of who he was, even though he made so many mistakes. And where I'm going with all of this is like Emily really nails Chester's tone. She's not Chester, she's her own person. But, I'm trying to think. It would be hard to find someone who could do it justice like Emily can. Her name's Emily, right? I'm just randomly saying her name's Emily. Let's just make sure her name's Emily. Yeah, Emily Armstrong. Okay, so with Emily, she nails his style. The only person I think that could do like just as good of a job in their own way would be Ollie Sykes. I think Ollie Sykes at Bring Me the Horizon would be a fucking shoe-in for Linkin Park. He would be such a good fit. Literally, I like Emily and Ollie. I would love Ollie to do a collaboration with Linkin Park. That would be exceptional. But where I'm going with all this is I want to feel Emily's heart, because that is the thing that will be the hardest to replace with Linkin Park. It's easier to replace Chester's voice than his heart, and his humanity. Because again, and one thing to anyone that's into that knows I study this system called human design and the gene keys, literally Chester was the vessel of love. Like his incarnation cross, his entire purpose for existing on the planet, on Earth, was to learn how to love himself and learn how to love other people and learn how to forgive and learn how to accept life on life's terms. And when I remember the first time I looked up his chart and I saw that, it just like hit me in the face. I was like, that's Chester. The guy is just the walking exemplification of love. And always, whenever you get people that are the vessel of love, they usually have the most intense lives. They usually go through a lot of abuse and a lot of pain. What's actually interesting, I'm actually also a vessel of love. Me and Chester's charts are actually reversed in a lot of ways. That's a whole other conversation. But so that's the thing, is like when it comes to Emily, I want to hear her do something like Iridescent or Leave Out All the Rest. Which, in fairness, I don't know how old she is, because remember, Chester didn't write that material for 3 albums. He wrote My December, which I think was a beautifully tender song, and he wrote Numb on the second record. So actually, in fairness, he was showing real hints of vulnerability early on. It was just a lot of time in his early material, it was buried beneath so much pain. And I think he really, I think Numb is my favorite Linkin Park song, like overall. Yeah, I think Numb is like my overall favorite. I remember just being a kid and hearing that song for the first time when I was in like grade 3, grade 5. I remember my friend Lucas putting that song on, and I remember just being like, dude, like, what is that? Like, I think that was the first time ever in life that like I heard something and I was like, what is that? I remember, and then I don't even think I bought the record myself. Because I think at that point we had LimeWire and FrostWire. I don't know if you guys I'm 29, so it was my generation. We were after Napster and before, like, I think we were before iTunes. But I remember, just downloading that. But anyway, this is all to say that Chester will be the hardest part to replace with Chester is his heart. And I'm hoping, I do plan on doing a full album reaction to this record. And if you guys want to check that out, the links to all of the exclusive content are down below. We've actually done 2 full album reactions to Linkin Park. They're not listed because I had actually heard them like years earlier, and I just didn't feel comfortable putting them up or kind of like charging for them. But if you guys like other stuff and you want to check those out, you can feel free to like message me, DM me or whatever on Patreon, and I'll send you those privately. But yeah, I do really want to see her tender side, Emily's tender side. Yeah. I think I might be like one of the only people that wants to see that. I think like everybody, when they hear this, are like, yeah, like, you know, she's nailing the aggressive side of Chester. And I'm like, she's nailing it. But I really want to see her nail the soft side of Chester. And also, I do want to be mindful that I've spoken pretty much all about Chester in this video. And I think that is the sad reality of any artist that follows in the footsteps of such a beloved artist, is that the fan base, like myself, ends up just comparing her to Chester the whole time. And I'm hoping, and I know this will happen in time, I'll never forget Chester. But after Linkin Park puts out a few more records with Emily, I will associate Linkin Park with Emily. And I'm excited to get to that point where she's talked about on her own merits and is no longer living in the shadow of Chester. Because that's intense. That is sad. It truly is to live in someone else's shadow, especially when you're so talented. Like, she is very talented. Yeah, it's just challenging to live in somebody's shadow who's so beloved. But anyway, let's jump into the lyric. Oh, actually, you know what? I never even talked about the lyrics or the music. I alluded to it briefly, but this does such a good job of harkening back to like older Linkin Park. Like, almost this kind of reminds me of some ways of like kind of a New Divide era, like Burn It Down, Lost in the Echo, like that kind of era. 2010 to 2012. When I think of this instrumentally, I think of that era. Even the video reminds me in some ways a lot of New Divide. But yeah, let's jump in the lyrics now. And we're back. So like right here, and you saw it in the video, Mike was the one who painted this album artwork, which is brilliant. Let's break down the lyrics now. Your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. I know you're waiting in the distance just like you always do. So what I get from this is your blades are sharpened with precision, flashing your favorite point of view. So what's interesting is, if any of you guys know about the tarot, the ancient system of archetypes, but one of the main symbolic pieces of imagery for the mind are swords. Because what the mind does is the mind is always cutting things apart from the whole so they can be dissected and analyzed. Because you can never think of anything in its totality. The mind goes, it looks at a camera and it will look at the lens and it will dissect the lens apart from the camera. Then it will dissect this piece, that piece, the tripod. It will dissect, the mic. And then after it has dissected all of these individual parts of the whole, it will then piece the things back together to try to come to some semblance of the whole. So in some sense, the mind is always like reverse engineering. It's always cutting things apart through precision so that it can understand the components of something, so it can piece them back together to fully understand how they influence the whole. And where I get with this is our minds, especially when you get like lawyers, you get really sharp-minded people can use their mind lethally with precision to find your weak spots, your insecurities. They can prey on your traumas. They can dissect you. You see, one guy I've been listening to lately is this guy, Andrew Bustamante. He's been making his way around podcasts, but he's an ex-CIA spy who is very adept within psychology. He's an interesting guy, and it's funny. I don't even resonate with him as a human being because he's kind of like, he's even mentioned he's on the spectrum. He has sociopathic tendencies. And so a lot of time I don't like resonate with him as a human being, but I just find his analysis on human beings very fascinating because he'll just like dissect people. He'll just like get into a conversation through his ex-CIA training, meet you, and then he's just like psychoanalyzing you, and then he's figuring out how to get the leg up on you. And what's interesting about him is he's so honest about what he does, his process. It's bizarre, and it's fascinating just watching somebody who's telling you, yeah, I'm analyzing you right now, and I'm trying to find a way to get one over you. And because he has a very cynical view of human nature. And where I'm going with this is like one thing he always does is, again, he uses his mind and his precision to look at your blind spots, your weaknesses, your micro expressions, he's just analyzing you, and he uses the Myers-Briggs primarily to quickly analyze people. And then he will use that against them. I think this is a little bit different because it's more about your point of view. So it's about, you've created this point of view. You've like a lawyer, like sharp-tongued lawyers. Like, it's just like, you're just like, I don't even want to talk to this person because they will, through facts and I'm not even, like, logic too, but mostly facts. They have a way of twisting facts where if you don't know as many facts as they do about something, they will pin you into a corner and they will win an argument to the point where you can't even fight back. So that's what I kind of get from this is just like someone who's just like really cold. Someone who's like just very in the mind, like living in the mind. They're very divorced from their heart. They're very separated. They're not connecting with other human beings. They're just through their precision, sharpening and using their mind almost as a tool to, again, intellectually lawyer people and own people. So anyway, I know you're waiting in the distance just like you always do. Already pulling me in, already under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. Let you cut me open just to watch me bleed. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. This reminds me a lot of Numb, right? Like, this is the whole MO of what Numb's about, is feeling like you're under pressure to become what someone wants of you. And also, I think everything I just said is not what the song's about. I think it's about someone who is using their mind. Again, they're disconnected from their heart. They're using their mind to kind of like get under somebody's skin. So I guess kind of half what I was talking about. They use their mind to cut you open to get to your vulnerabilities so they can watch you bleed. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Fallen for the promise of the emptiness machine, the emptiness machine. Interesting. That's a good line. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Because this is what we all do, in especially a lot of time toxic relationships, is we always go like, oh, but he has good in him, or she has good in her, and if she grew and got through this trauma, then we could have this beautiful relationship. A lot of the time, because the bonding chemicals are so strong, the sex is so potent, there's so much attraction that you settle for all of the abusive tendencies of the relationship. And just blindly hope that this person will grow when they may never grow, and falling for the promise of the emptiness machine. So this person who is empty inside. Why machine? Maybe it's the emptiness machine. Maybe it's what I was saying. They're kind of like a robot, and they're devoid of any real heart. Going around like a revolver, it's been decided how we lose, because there's a fire under the altar I keep on lying to. Already pulling me in. I know exactly how this ends. I only wanted to be part of something. Are they talking about I only wanted to be part of something as in I only wanted to be part of a relationship, a loving relationship. I only wanted to be with someone who loved me, and I'm holding on for the hope of something better. Because I'm wanting love. I'm wanting to hope that there could be love. And I think this is the problem when we still have deep wounds and traumas. We end up settling for relationships that at a deep level we know are abusive, and we see the red flags. And I've been in these relationships too, where you see the red flags, but you overlook them because you see the green flags. You see the potential of the person. You see the potential beauty in that person. You go, I'm going to choose to believe that if I am the partner I feel like I need to be, I can be there for you and as you heal. But the fact is, maybe that person doesn't even want to heal, right? And it's also my arrogance to feel like they should heal, right? I've been stuck in that position many times, thinking that someone should heal, when really it's none of my business what someone does. It's my business to go, hey, if you don't want to heal, and I do, and I want to evolve, I'm going to leave this relationship. And I'm going to find someone who actually wants to grow with me and evolve with me. So that's what I get from this. Don't know why I'm hoping, so fucking naive, falling for the promise of the Emptiness Machine. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, Linkin Park, the Emptiness Machine. So overall, I like this one. I like this song quite a bit. I'm going to put this up public. I didn't love it. I really like certain aspects of it. I really liked the pre-chorus. I liked the chorus, and I really liked the bridge. But I haven't fallen in love with Emily yet. And I think I want to check out more interviews. I saw an interview with her on Zach Sang's show with Mike. I think I want to check out maybe more of a vulnerable interview with her, where I really get to know her and her world, because I know that can sometimes be it. I think I'm comparing her to Chester, and I'm at the moment viewing her as the lesser version of Chester. I'm aware of everything I've lost with Chester, all of the heart and the beauty that he brought. I'm missing him, and I'm not fully seeing Emily for who she truly is. So I do want to check out more of her, but I like this enough that I'm going to put it public. And I think this reaction as a whole, I feel very good about the lyrics and the breakdown I did. And I think a lot of you guys really do like this song, and a lot of people really like this. So I'm going to put this up publicly, even though I think for me, it really skirts that edge between, because I said I would only put up things that I like really liked or loved, or really liked by an artist I love. So it's either a song I love by an artist I really like, or at the lowest, a song I really like by an artist I love. So yeah, so this is what this falls into, is I enjoyed this. And this might also grow on me quite a bit. I could see myself this growing a lot on me. Yeah, so what do you guys think of this? If everyone knows Linkin Park. So if you really love Linkin Park, what do you think of Emily? What do you think of her talent? What do you think of her vibe? What do you think of her as a replacement for Chester on a purely musical level? And then what do you think of her as a replacement for Chester at a human being level? Does she resonate with your heart the way that Chester did? Yeah, and what do you think of this as a first foray into this new generation of Linkin Park? Yeah, I'm excited to check this out. And we will be doing a full album reaction for this. So definitely keep an eye out on the Patreon, because I will be posting it there. And, once we move out the Patreon for the new community membership, it'll be there. So that's it. So if you liked this video, be sure to like this video. And also, if you are enjoying the content we're making here, definitely be sure to subscribe. As you might know, we do podcasts on the channel and the Anton Analysis. So we break down music and culture, that kind of thing. Do just reactions to public culture, greater culture and music. And the podcast is science, metaphysics, health and wellness, psychology, culture, current events, that kind of thing. And yeah, that's it. Links down below for everything if you want to support me and get your hands on hundreds of exclusive reactions, over 100 exclusive podcasts, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So again, down below for that. And that's it. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.